Perfect.
Is that everyone or no? Got a few more. I think we're almost ready. Where's Rahat back here? I think we almost have everybody. So I was way off. Remember I said it'd take 10 to 15 minutes? It's like almost 10:30. Aren't you guys going to come out for the... No, but I want everyone to introduce themselves. Like, remember, so, you know. I have my nerdy, like, you know, I have my corny, nerdy ways. You know. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Haley. Boss, whenever you are. I think just about. I think we're almost through everybody, so I figured we might as well just start. Yeah. Lewis says they're all in. So, all right, we're coming. Stay ready.
They're ready for you.
All right.
Told a couple of jokes.
You did?
No.
How's it going? I'm waiting for my boss to come up here, and then she's gonna kick things off. So, Chris, is this on? All right. Is it on? On? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you all so much for being here. Chris, are we good to go? Okay, thank you. All right, I just want to make
Excuse
sure
me,
that
I'm sorry.
all our equipment is.
What'd you say?
It's just not like a microphone, it's just a speakerphone.
All right, well,
Okay,
just
got it. Well, that's, I want to know if you're,
My name is
okay.
Rahat Chatha.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I am
Excuse me,
New
sorry.
Jersey Reentry's Chief Legal and Compliance Officer. What does that mean? I manage. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks. Okay, so I manage all the corporate business and legal affairs for the New Jersey Reentry Corporation. So that includes, you know, all our contracts and leases and memorandums of understanding, any labor and employment issues, litigation management. I also manage our team of legal services coordinators. We have one at each one of our 8 program sites. For you who are already enrolled in our program, I'm sure you've already met with our legal services coordinators. So you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Our legal services coordinators provide a myriad of services at our 8 program sites, and that includes, you know, municipal court warrant recalls, excuse me, and fine waivers, pro se criminal record expungements. That's why we're all here today. Suspended driver license clearance, recovery of birth certificates, and referrals to pro bono legal services, if, you know, that's what the situation requires. And in addition, I oversee our HR department and the compliance issues for the agency. Now, as I said, we're here today for the criminal expungement part of what, you know, this agency offers. And since New Jersey launched the online expungement portal in 2021, we have been very aggressive in helping our program participants with determining whether they are eligible for an expungement and then helping them with their pro se expungement application. And since 2021, we have been successful in obtaining 126 complete criminal record expungements for our program participants. And we're very proud of that number. And it seems to be increasing each day as we're working on this. And that is thanks to all the efforts of our legal services coordinators. And so without, I guess, further ado, I'm just going to have our legal services senior director and Damon Watson continue the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Rahat. All right. How's everyone doing? Good? Okay. So I know that Rahat mentioned all of her duties. She didn't call one out specifically, and that is that every day she deals with me, and I can be kind of a handful. So it might be one of the hardest things that she has to do on a daily basis. So for that, I am sorry, but it is what it is. So I'll introduce myself real quick. Come on. All right. There we go. Let me just make sure that I don't want any more tech glitches. Okay, good. All right, stay ready. So my name is Damon Watson. I'm the Senior Director of Legal Services and Corporate Development for New Jersey Reentry Corporation. My main job is I'm the team captain for the legal services team. These are the legal services coordinators. I'm going to actually have them all introduce themselves in a minute. I'm going to give a presentation today. This cool picture, which I do very much like, was taken at a TED Talk that I did earlier this month in Jersey City. So what y'all are going to get is like a modified version of that. I'm going to talk about expungement a little bit. But before I introduce the team, I just want to quickly go over what is absolutely going to happen today and what is absolutely not going to happen today. And I just want to manage everybody's expectations. So first and foremost, the one thing that absolutely won't happen today is nobody's record is going to be wiped out today. All right, these things do take a little bit of time. They take less time than I think you probably think, depending on various factors. But that's not what's going to happen. What is going to happen today, and I need to break it down into two categories of people. So there's folks that are already enrolled with New Jersey Reentry, and if you are, you know who you are. You've done an orientation and you have met with the team and probably in this office. And then there's folks that are here that might not be currently enrolled in a New Jersey reentry program. And I spoke to a woman earlier today. She's not currently enrolled. So if you are currently enrolled, after my presentation, you're going to meet with one of the legal services coordinators and possibly me. We will sit down with you. We're going to take a little bit of information from you. We're going to open up the expungement portal. We're going to look inside and we're going to see if you're eligible or not, or if there's anything weird or complicated in there. Just so you know, there is a universe of scenarios that can come up once we put information in the expungement portal, but sometimes it's very simple, right? Sometimes we look in and see just one felony and literally nothing else, and that felony is some simple, it could be like simple possession or something, right? And if that's the case, we will go ahead and we will file your expungement petition today. Now, if we look at your party court history, that's what they call it, and it's very complicated or confusing, or if it looks perilous, then what we might have to do is say, okay, this can't be done in a day. We need to review all of these charges, and I'm going to go over in my presentation why we have to review every single charge. But if you're currently enrolled, it will get done by one of the legal services coordinators, but it just won't happen today, right? But it will get opened and initiated. Now, if you are not currently enrolled in our program, what we can do for you is we can do the same thing I just described. We can look in the portal to see if you're eligible or not. And if you are, what we will do is we will refer you to the site that in the county where you live. And do most of you live in Union County? Yeah. Right. And if you live in another county, we'll have to refer you to a site, in that county. But we'll refer you to be enrolled in our program. And then we'll take it from there, right? And then once you're actively enrolled, then we'll be able to go ahead and file your expungement and offer you other services, because there's a lot of other things that we do. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start, but first I want to introduce the team very quick. Actually, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They're going to tell you their name, what site they're from, and how many years they've been with the company. That's it. I usually have them say something interesting about themselves, but we don't have a ton of time, so some of them are very interesting and it could add time. So, Lewis, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Lewis. I'm Legal Services Coordinator in Neptune City, that's Monmouth County. Before that, I was the coordinator in Newark, which is Essex County. I've been with the company for, I don't know how many years, 3+ years. And interesting thing, I just got 2 clean slate expungements granted this week and last week to people. So that's, it's not me, it's the individuals who are qualified for this and got it. These things can be done. It's a process. It takes time. Follow the process and you'll be fine. Thank you.
How you guys doing today? My name's Zach. I'm the Legal Services Coordinator in Carteret, so Middlesex County. I've been at the company just under 3 years, and I work with Recovery Court for Municipal Recovery Court. That's called Blue Cares. For those who don't know, recovery courts and drug courts and those types of programs, those supervisionary programs that you may or may not be in, will actually make your expungement potentially easier. They're like, oh, if you're going through a recovery program, you can get that expungement, but they don't file it for you necessarily. So any and all paperwork that you guys have, please talk about that with us, because that'll make it a lot easier. I had a client who was trying to get an expungement, and she graduated a supervisory program 3 years ago, but it took her 2 years to find her paperwork. So save your paperwork, and it'll make our lives a lot easier.
Tara. I'm at the Jersey City site. I'm still relatively new today, closing out week 6. I'm learning along with all of you and looking forward to helping people clear any roadblocks that might be preventing them from getting better jobs and learning along with everyone.
Hi, I'm Haley. I work in Tom's River at the Ocean County site. I've been with the company for almost 2.5 years now, and I spend majority of my time trying to get birth certificates from out of the country for majority of my clients in Tom's River. So yeah, I'm excited to work with you guys.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Nuri. I'm the Legal Services Coordinator for Patterson. Also with you guys for Bergen too. I've been with the company for a little bit over a year. I look forward to getting to meet each and every, well, maybe not each and every one of you, but getting to know you guys on our one-on-ones through the expungements.
Good morning. My name is Robin. I've been with the company for about 2 months. This is a great job for me because I've seen the legal field from all aspects of the bench. I'm happy to be surrounded by a helpful team, and I'm happy to get to know you. I appreciate your patience, Lily, and I will do my best to help you move forward in your lives. Things happen, but the goal is to start today and move forward. Thank you.
All right, that's the team. And we have one person who's homesick, Nathan Ellis from our Newark site, but that's the team. So give them a round of applause, please. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, believe in second chances. Who does? I hope you all do. I mean, that's why we're here, right? So, American author Nelson DeMille wrote that America is the land of second. And by the way, can everyone hear me? Because I usually walk a lot and I'm not near the mic. Anyone in the back can't hear me? Everyone good? Okay, I'm pretty loud. He said that America is a land of second and third chances, multiple resuscitations, such that given enough retakes, only a complete idiot can't eventually get it right. I thought that was a little heavy-handed because I know that when I'm fighting for second chances, I sometimes feel like I might be an idiot if I can't get something done. But I think that the part that he missed was that America's a land of second and third chances, given enough retakes and help. And help. I think that's the important thing because that's why we're here, right? New Jersey Reentry Corporation is here to help you. We're here to help you try to make your life better. We're here to help you try to change your life and get a job and move forward from your past. Now, New Jersey Reentry Corporation was founded about 10 years ago. We're a nonprofit, and our original mission was to remove employment barriers for people returning home from incarceration. And since then, we've modified that mission. We've grown the populations that we help, and we've added court involved, we've added addiction treatment, and we've added veterans. And our job is really to do whatever we can to help you. So since we started about 10 years ago, New Jersey Reentry Corporation has touched over 35,000 lives. I just want to talk to you about one of them. So this person, his mother, was a high-functioning alcoholic, but she was also a school teacher and a paralegal. His father was one of the first black men in the country to have a JD, a law degree, and an MD, a medical degree. But he was also physically abusive, and he was also a drug addict. Now, our guy, he faced some obvious childhood trauma, and despite that, he did okay, right? He got through grad school, then he got married, he got a really good job, had a couple of kids, and it seemed like his whole world was, all right, let's get real. His whole world totally exploded, okay? So over a 5-year period, he lost 6 family members, mother, father, 2 grandmothers, grandfather, and an aunt. It was pretty terrible. So what do you think happened? What do you think, right? Depression, addiction, job loss, custody loss, homeless, felonies. And look, when you're homeless, and I get it, I understand, a lot of times you're faced with felonies for sustenance, felonies so you could stay in a motel room, felonies so you could just live, right? And this guy, he was doing a lot out there. Like, there was this one story that I know about where he and his boys decided that they were going to rob this weed dealer. So they set up a meet, they kept the weed, kept the money, and took off and he's driving a getaway car, some Porsche Cayenne. I don't know how you got that, but and there was a gun under the dash and 4 pounds of weed in the driver's seat. The recipe for disaster, right? So, I mean, what do you think happened? I mean, he was doing the most out there. So he got locked up, okay? 9 months in the county. Then he gets out. Now remember, the guy went to grad school. You know, he has a decent resume, so he tries to get some jobs. He gets a bunch of offers. What do you think happened? Background check, right? Every single offer pulls. Call center, Target, Home Depot, right? I mean, is this familiar to anybody here? I'm sure it probably is, right? So what does he do? Back to felonies, right? Checks, fraud, that sort of thing. And he gets caught again, and he does another 11 months, but something happened that was different the second time. So when he was locked up, he was sitting in the day room and he was like reading an article in the newspaper about New Jersey Rentry Corporation and Jim McGreevey and some documentary that he was working on with Michael K. Williams from The Wire, rest in peace. And he saw this and he's like, well, that's Providence. I got to find this place. So he gets out and he finds New Jersey Reentry and things turn around real quick. He gets a job. Then he gets a better job. He starts dating again because he could look people in the eye again. He had something to offer, right? He starts to get fit. He joined a black cycling club here in New Jersey called Major Taylor Cycling Club, right? Everything was great. And so now, years later, about 8 years sober, crime-free. It's a pretty good story, right? What do you think the most interesting thing is about that story? Anybody? What's the most interesting thing to you? That he didn't give up? How about you?
Another opportunity.
These are all very interesting things, but the most interesting thing about the story is something I haven't told you. It's mine. I'm gonna let that sink in, because I know you probably have some questions. The first one, I'm sure, is, are you black? Yeah, I am. Like, when you take a Creole woman from Louisiana and a light-skinned black man from Alabama, and you mash them all together, you get that. I mean, that's just what happens, right? I mean, it's 2025. Black ain't always black. I mean, I know I look pretty white, but no, I'm a black kid from Los Angeles, not a white accountant from New York, even though I kind of present that way. Now, the other question I know you have is, you did all that? Yeah. A lot of things can happen in a person's life. Make you make bad choices, make you do bad things. I was a drug-addicted, disbarred, felon, homeless mess, right? I used to cash checks because look at me. You think I can't walk in a bank and cash a check? Like, that's just easy, right? It was easy. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I did what I thought I had to do, right? I used to shoot meth, okay? Like, not that smoke, not that sniff, shoot. It's efficient, I suppose. In a tent on Skid Row. What you know about Skid Row, right? That tent, okay? That was my bike. I used to ride around the city on that. My life was an absolute mess. It was suboptimal, right? It was nonsense. So it took me a long time to be able to do anything like this, to talk about it in front of anybody. But I told a friend of mine, Jake Brown. And Jake Brown, if you follow him on Instagram, he's a public speaker. He's a great dude. He's become a really good friend of mine. And he told me, he's like, Damon, your story has a lot of power. Because you need to share with people. You could save a lot of lives. You could change a lot of lives. He's like, you need to start right now. You need to start public speaking. So, TED Talk. And here I am, talking to you guys. But the thing about second chances, and the thing I kind of want you to take away from this, and just from hearing from me, is second chances could look like anyone. Anyone, right? You never know. You don't know who's been locked up. I mean, look at me. Take a good look at me. Like somebody earlier, I was talking to him, he thought I was going to jam him up, right? I'm like, I'm the last dude that's going to do that, right? I've been jammed up plenty, right? I'm not looking to do that to y'all. Sorry, I get a little caught up sometimes. But here's the thing. I'm black, but I look white. Really, really white. I get it. I know, right? I went from Princeton to prison. Technically, I never went to prison, but Princeton to county jail just didn't have the same ring to it, right? So Harvard to homeless. I went to Harvard Law School, Ted Cruz was my roommate for a year and a half. Don't get me started on that. But that was a whole other thing. I knew him at Princeton. I didn't have a good room draw. He said, live with me. I'm like, oh, how could that go wrong, right? So, but eventually I bottomed out, right? And when you bottom out, you got to bounce back. You don't have a choice. Because if you stay down there, you have two choices. Stay down there and possibly die, right? Or bounce back. So I did. I went from state custody to 3 state championships. Now, let me explain what these are exactly. So I found triathlon, and I don't like running so much. I like swimming, and I like biking, and there's this thing called aqua bike, which is triathlon without the running. And I decided, you know what, let's see if I'm good at that. And in 2023, I won New Jersey State Championship. In 2025, I won the Pennsylvania State Championship. This one was really special. This is just this year. I won the New Jersey State Championship again. And that's a whole other second chance story. And I'll tell it real quick. So the day before that race, I had another race, like a warm-up race, and I was like, oh, I'll win. I'm state champion. I just won the Pennsylvania State Champion. I'm good, right? Like a little cocky, had a little swagger, a little arrogance. And I get to the end of the race, and there's another dude, aquabike, sitting right there. I'm like, bro, did you just race aquabike? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, damn. And it turns out he beat me by 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Now that's hard for like me to really handle, right? 30 seconds is almost nothing. 30 seconds is, did I take too long to take my wetsuit off, right? So I had to bounce back. Same thing, right? I actually was able to draw on being on Skid Row, being in jail, where I really had to just rely on nothing but me to sort it out. So next day I show up, get my stuff ready, and he walks up. I'm like, hey, man. And I'd met him the day before. Like, I had to meet him and talk to him. I had to figure out what he was about. He's like, so you're racing today? I'm like, yeah, taking another crack at you. So I'm on the bike, 24-mile course. About mile 8, I roll up on him. I'm like, yo. He's like, hey, man. I'm like, bye. I took off. I finished. About 4 minutes later, he rolls up. And he came up to me, and I actually felt a little bad about this. And he's like, you know, when you passed me, I just kind of gave up. I'm like, man, like, I'm not like Goggins here trying to take your soul or anything. Someone passed me, I try to catch him. He's like, yeah, but you just went down that hill. It was so fast. But the moral of the story is I got a second chance. I grabbed onto it with both hands and I got that, right? So now I did say I don't like to run, but it's sort of necessary if you want to do stuff like an Ironman. So I went from iron bars to Iron Man. That's some branding I've been working on. What do you think? Yes? No? Yeah? All right. I don't care. All right. So here's the thing. When I got out of jail the second time, I couldn't vote, right? I couldn't vote. How many of you have been released from jail and like at the time you could not vote? Like, because the law used to be that you couldn't. It hurt. You know, it hurts. It feels like you're not part of the country, right? It sucks. But I was lucky. I got to do something about it. I actually got qualified for Team USA. So at the World Championships next year in Spain, I'll get to represent this country. And instead of that, I get to wear that, right? So you're probably thinking like, man, he's just bragging, right? Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, right? I mean, like, it's awesome. But the bragging serves a point. Because I did all that. There's nothing special about me. There's not. There really isn't, right? I just wanted it. So I got it. A friend of mine at work, Kaya, just for people that work here so they know who I'm talking about, Kaya was looking at this slide with me. I was showing her the thing. I'm like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? She goes, sometimes I just want your life. I'm like, okay, go get it. Go get it. It's right there. All you need to do is believe in yourself, right? Because if you believe in yourself, that invites other people to believe in you. Like when you come here, I tell people, 2 people got to believe in you for this to work. You, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's a wrap, right? But the next person is going to be me. And then it's going to be Cindy. And then it's going to be Robin. And then it's going to be anybody here. And pretty soon, you'll have so many people believing in you that you won't need all of them, right? You'll be good. I had a lot of people believe in me along the way, and I needed it. right? A guy named Howard Mann, you don't know his name, but Howard Mann believed in me. When I needed a job, needed one bad, because I actually interviewed at a law firm. I used an old connection, right? He got me an interview, got the job of senior paralegal, $85,000, full benefits, matching 401k. I was like, this is a dream. Then they're like, well, we got to run your record. Damn. I'm like, all right, there's something in there. And they said, all right, well, look, you did well in the interview. Let's just see how it goes. What do you think happened? Ejectocito, right? I did not get to keep that job. So I got on Craigslist and I humbled myself and I just started applying. Anybody that had any kind of job as a paralegal, and Howard Mann called me back. And he said, come in and talk to me. And I talked to him and he's like, so I did a little research on you. You have fraud or something? I said, look, dude, I did some stupid shit, right? I did, but that's behind me. I'm trying to fix my life and I really need work and I think I can help you. And he agreed and he gave me a job and I am here now, right? So it was a really important piece. Now my wife, she believed in me too. And she really didn't have any reason to, like at all. Like we were dating and it was about a month in and she goes, tell me something you're ashamed of. Like, tell me something shameful that not a lot of people know. I was like, okay. I said, are you sure you're ready for all that? Like, she goes, yeah. So I just emptied the tank, right? Depression, death, addiction, homeless, felonies, meth, tent, skid row, everything. And she just looked at me and said, anything else? She's the best. So there's levels to this. And I think I've been on pretty much all of them. Like I've got book smarts. They were cultivated in ivory towers. But the deal with me that I think is more important is that I have street smarts now, and I have empathy. And they were forged in the fires of Skid Row and County Jail. I've read people like Ed Milet, who says that you are most qualified to help the person you used to be. I want everybody to think hard about that and think about the person you used to be, because at some point, you're going to have an opportunity to help somebody else who's been where you've been, right? So remember that. And it's very true for me, right? I mean, I used to be addicted. I struggled with my incarceration. I struggled with my own reentry. And now I get to help y'all with yours, right? I'm proof positive that you can come back from impossible circumstances. I mean, let's go through them. Like Skid Row, like meth, shooting meth, but you don't come back from that. But you can. The trick is, you just have to know in your heart that no matter how bad things get, no matter how hopeless you seem, no matter how dark that darkness is, you know what I'm talking about. There's always a path back. You just have to find the help. And that's why you're here. So when you get that second chance, though, and I hope that I'm able to, that we're able to give a new second chance and a new lease on life to a lot of you through expungement, you have to keep earning it. You know what? I want to make sure that, okay, cool. You have to keep earning it, right? So how do I do it? Every day I wake up and I set the tone. I ask myself, what impossible thing am I going to do today that can make me better? I look for things I think I can't do, because that's how I find out what I can do. Like I literally, every day, I F around and find out, right? But in a constructive way. I don't recommend the other way. Finish what you start, but get started right now. Always show gratitude. Always. Always strive for excellence over perfection. Always. Always try to find the good in the bad. That one is critical. Let me show you something. So this, I did all of that. I mean, you'd see, I did all of that on a bike, right? On a bike. Except about 2 weeks after that photo was taken, I was extradited from in front of my job, working with Howard Mann, and taken back to California. And I did 11 months because I was charged with conspiracy to commit real estate fraud, which is not what I did. They wanted to give me 15 years. But we worked it out, and I came back. But here's why I bring this up. I did all that on a bike, right? Jail. Where's my bike? I was in California. My bike all the way back over here. So I had to do something. What'd I do? I ran. Every day, it seemed like, right? I think one day I probably ran 10 miles. I ran in concrete yards. I ran in the dorm. I ran on gravel. I just ran. Now, it sucked, huh?
I said, okay, Forrest.
No, I mean, all right, I was running. So, I could play. So, but I ran in those cheap jail shoes, right? Blisters on my feet. It hurt. It sucked. But you know what? If I didn't go back to jail, I probably don't have Ironman. I probably don't have Team USA. I definitely don't see that article about Jim McGreevy. And I probably am not here helping you today. So there was a lot of good in that bad, but there was a lot of bad. Finally, I remind myself, I'm not better than anyone. I'm not. But I believe that I can make anyone better. I do. I really, really do. And that's basically what reentry is. And one of the ways that we change people's lives, because we have a singular purpose here, and that is to change people's lives or to help them do that. And one way we do that is through pro se criminal record expungements. I know you're wondering, like, is he ever going to talk about expungement? Like, yeah, you know, this is more fun though, right? So, but yeah, I am talking about expungements. And as Rahat mentioned, we've achieved almost 130 full criminal record expungements, which is great. Because once your record is expunged, what does that mean? It means that you get to keep that shiny new job offer, right? It means that there's nothing that can hold you back, at least not on the criminal record side of things, because that is the single greatest enemy to our employment. But what about if expungement's not available, right? What about those folks who their expungements aren't complete? Like mine's not complete, right? If I went and tried to get a job somewhere else, and if my bosses are listening, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to stay here. But if I were to try, I still have a record, right? Ironman, Team USA, senior director, a lot of that might not matter. Now, ban the box. Who's heard of that? Raise your hand if you know you've heard ban the box. Really? Well, all right, let me tell you what ban the box is. Ban the box was this brilliant idea that was supposed to help with this, such that employers aren't allowed to ask you about your criminal record during an interview or on the application. That's great, right? Except once they give you a job offer, they can run your record. So what was the point, right? A lot of times I ask myself, why such a hard time for us, for people with records? Like why is it such a big deal? Well, for employers, unfortunately, it's cold, hard math. That's it. Like if they got two candidates and one of them has a record, I mean, I have fraud on my jacket, right? Crimes of dishonesty. And then the other person doesn't. It doesn't matter that you made it through the interview process, that everybody you talked to liked you, right? Because remember, they can't check that record till after they give you an offer. It doesn't matter that you got an offer. It doesn't matter that they probably already checked your references and they liked you. But because you got a record, they ask themselves, well, if I hire this person, are they just going to screw up? They're just going to offend against the company? They're going to steal from us? And that's it. Well, here's what I try to do when I'm out there speaking to the world and particularly to employers. I try to disabuse them of that notion because don't get it twisted. That is not how it's going to work out, right? How do I know that? Because I have stories from jail. Everybody loves stories from jail. So I try to tell these as often as I can because if you offend, you're going back to jail. Who wants to go back to jail? Yeah, I didn't think so, right? It's nonsense. So for me, let me just tell you a couple of my jail experiences so you know what I'm telling people out there to try to change the hearts and minds of employers. So first, in LA County Jail, they have what I call naked and afraid. Naked and afraid. You are ushered into a giant room when you process into Supermax, and everybody processes into Supermax. You're directed to take off all of your clothes, put them on a table in front of you, bend over, pull your butt cheeks apart, and cough 3 times while a CO sticks a flashlight up in there to make sure you didn't keister any contraband. It was literally the most humiliating thing I'd ever gone through. And it might have only lasted 10 seconds, but that was too long. That was too long, right? So there's that. Then, in LA County Jail, there's the racial draft. Anybody watch Chappelle, the racial draft? It's a real thing in jail. So, look at me, right, again, and realize in LA County Jail and in many prisons across the country, and actually in most county jails, like west of the Mississippi, or at least in the far west, your entire existence in jail is driven by your race. By the way, I got to flip through a thing. I was Employee of the Month once. I was part of another bit, but let's just keep going because I need to advance the slide. But your entire existence is dictated by your race. Here's how it works. You walk in, and there's 4 dudes standing there, right? There's 2 Hispanics, a white dude, a black dude. The Hispanics are broken down by born in country. Those are the homies, right? Or the Southsiders, or born out of country. Those are the Paisas. Then there's the brothers and others, because everybody else that's not in the category kind of rolls with us. And then there's the whites, right? Or they call themselves the Peckerwoods, which poor choice of name, but whatever. That's what they are. So the Peckerwoods, I guess. So I walk in, and the Wood comes up to me, and he's like, hey, man, welcome. Let me show you where to put your stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then the black guy holds his hand out. He's like, hang on. Let me see your wristband. So I show it to him. Damon Watson. Sound like a black name to me. Just shrugged. He goes, you mixed? Yeah. Like Creole or something? I'm like, yeah. Like daddy black? I'm like, light skin, but yeah. And that was it. And he goes, he's with us. That was it. That's how it happens. I was drafted, right? Drafted. It's weird. But here's the thing. I could live with that, right? Because I'm black. I mean, I don't make any bones, but I grew up black. I'm black. I know it's hard. Like when I say the words and you look at the package, it's like, no, he's not, right? But I am. But here's the thing about the racial draft. After the racial draft happens, race politics take over. Race politics. Here's why. Every race has rules. And if you break those rules, you pound it. Discipline. Now, I never broke the rules, right? Never. Because I'm smart. I mean, I'm what they call an OG in jail, right? Because I was in my 40s, old guy, right? Not original gangster, but old guy. So I did see a lot of discipline happen, and it's pretty alarming. This one Wood comes in, young guy. He's all full of pep. He's like, it's like he wanted to come to jail. I'm like, man, So he decides he's going to chop it up with the blacks. Right? He just starts rapping, having fun, dancing around. And all the Woods are just beeline staring at him. Because this is not the way. This is not the way. You don't fraternize with other races like that. It's crazy, right? But that's jail. So later that night, 10 Woods stalked him to the back and stomped him out. And he was screaming and he was begging. And man, it was one of the worst things I've ever heard. So here's what I then ask employers after I talk about all that. So you think if you hire this dude that he's going to screw up and risk going back to all of that nonsense? Don't get it twisted. That is never going to happen because we don't want to go back there. Ever. Right? So, here's what I want to talk about now. I want to go over, I got some stories, right? Remember I said I got a lot of stories. I was homeless in Ohio one time. I got hit by a car, and that happened, right? It's another thing I don't ever want to go back to, right? That's 9 staples. And when I shave my head, you could still kind of see them. I have another story, though. It's something that might catch a little bit of you off guard because I've been griping about my record and everything. And in California, it's a little different. I'm going to explain how expungement works out there. But about a month ago, I got that from my lawyers. And I was pretty happy. I'll let you read it for a second. So, second chances are real. Now, this took a really long time. And it was a big pain in the butt. And it cost a very good friend of mine so far, like $25,000. Like everybody, I have a brother from another mother. We grew up together. We're best friends. We lost touch and then we got back together as friends again because his girl was going through something, alcoholism, right? He needed to do an intervention. He reached out to me because he had heard that I'd gone through some stuff. I'm like, well, I've been through some stuff. So she's been sober 500 days. He and I are best friends. It's like nothing ever happened. We're sitting in a bar one night and he's like, hey man, and we weren't drinking. We're just eating in the bar. Like I don't touch anything anymore. I can't. So, and he's like, hey, what's going on with your expungement? I'm like, well, I've got this DUI warrant from 2009 and I sent them a letter, which is what we do here. And they didn't get rid of the warrant. And so they can't do the expungement. And I'm and he looks at me and he's like, dude, how much will it cost to like pay lawyers to handle them. I'm like, bro, I don't know, 30,000, 35,000, or 5,000, 35,000. I don't know. He goes, I got you. And that's what happened. So, what I want to do now, thank you. So what I want to do now is I want to walk through the New Jersey expungement process so that you understand it a little bit. But I also want to compare it for you to the California process so that you understand you're actually pretty lucky with what we have here. So here's the thing. California, it's a big mess. It is a big mess. You have to file in every court where you have felonies. Now, I had felonies in 3 different superior courts, 2 in LA County and then 1 in San Bernardino County, right? So 3 courts. Each court has to rule. Now, that thing I just showed you a minute ago, that was the first court. Now that they have ruled, the other courts should be ruling soon, I hope, and now they have precedent that they can follow. But it's a lot of nonsense. Let me tell you just about one bit of the nonsense so that when I actually explain to you how it works here, you'd be like, oh man, like we don't have to go through that nonsense. That's great, right? So in California, I was an inmate firefighter. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Fire Country. Like that show's nonsense. It's stupid. Don't watch it. But if you did watch the fires when they were on TV, remember recently, and they showed all the inmate firefighters in orange, right? I did that. In 2016 and 2017, I was an inmate firefighter. And I'm very proud of that. Right? It was a really good way to do time. It took 3 months off my sentence. But here's the weird thing about being an inmate firefighter. You get all these skills, but then when you leave, you still have a record. And so if you want to be a firefighter with all these firefighter skills, you can't. Kind of stupid. So Gavin Newsom signed a bill that said, if you were an inmate firefighter, you can get an expedited expungement. And I'm like, sweet, cool, that's awesome, right? Sign me up. Fortunately for me, I also had other grounds for my expungement. There's what's just called good cause grounds, where it's basically like, you fix your life and you've done a bunch of awesome stuff. Please give me the expungement. And so I have fixed my life. I've done a bunch of awesome stuff. I help other people that need the same kind of help I needed all the time. Please give it to me on those grounds too. So 2 grounds, right? We were hoping that the fire camp thing would just be lickety-split. Nope. Here's how it works. When you file the fire camp expungement in California, the court will send a form to the fire camp central. It's called Sierra Conservation Camp. And somebody there who's never met me, right, has to certify that I was a fire camper. Now, you see me in front of LA County Truck 16-1 at Holton Conservation Camp. That's 16 for Holton and 1 was Truck 1. You see me and Devin and Goofy and Snake and me off camera playing around. You see me hiking to a fire. You're probably wondering, where those cameras going? You all know that people can get phones in prison, right? So, and when you're a fire camper, people do drops out in the woods. I didn't have a phone, but I took advantage of all my buddies having both taking good pictures. So I have literal physical evidence that I was a fire camper, except, oh, come on now. Technical difficulties. There. The petitioner did not participate as a hand crew member in the CDC incarcerated, blah, 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 blah. Really? I mean, did you not? Really? Did not. So, and I know the answer is going to be a lot of you. How many of you, when you were in jail and you need to go to medical, or you need to get glasses, or you put in a complaint, you need to get transferred, whatever it is, and it goes off to Never Never Land, and you sit there stressing about it for months, and then nothing ever happens, right? You know that feeling? This gave me PTSD. Literally. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't get somebody to sign off saying that I actually was a fire camper. Fortunately for me, I had those other grounds. And so my lawyer calls me one day, about 2 months ago, and he's like, hey, so we tried to get in touch with so-and-so at Conservation Camp Sierra. They don't know what's going on there. I even talked to the sergeant at the fire camp where I served. I'm like, do you see me in your computer? He goes, I'm looking right at you. I'm like, you remember you took me to the hospital when I got poison ivy that day? He goes, yeah. I'm like, can you sign the form? He's like, it's got to go to Central. I'm like, oh my God, seriously? So I said to my lawyer, look, is the judge ready to go on the other stuff? Yes. Then why are you messing around with me? Get back in there and get me an expungement. I'm doing a TED Talk in 3 weeks, and I want to be able to say some good stuff at the end. And so he did it. Now, that was a lot of nonsense I had to go through. let me walk you through how none of this exists in New Jersey. So in New Jersey, we have what's called the expungement portal. And for y'all, we're going to do the pro se expungement portal. Pro se just means on your own behalf. So you can actually have a lawyer file an expungement for you, but then their name goes on the filing and all the court correspondence goes back and forth with the lawyer. The lawyer could go in and, we're not here to be your lawyers, right? Like, I don't even have a license right now. I mean, I'm a lawyer, right? But remember, I have felonies. So, you know, I can't even have a license until I get all that stuff handled, right? So we're not here to be lawyers for you. But what we can do and what we do is we will sit down with you. We will go over whether you're eligible or not. If you're eligible, we'll just file it right there with you, but we'll file it in your name. Right? We're just kind of helping you do it. So pro se. Now, the biggest questions people have with the pro se expungement portal is, am I eligible? Now, there's a couple pages of chart that are in the handouts that all of you I hope took, and that's page 1, that's page 2. I'm not going to go through everything on here, but what I am going to just give you the high points. There's 2 types of expungements that most of you are concerned about. There's also marijuana, but we generally just do those when we see them, right? Like, because there's no qualifications. Either you are or you aren't. Like, you have a marijuana charge or you don't. And if you do, we'll try to get it expunged. But with these, there's the regular expungement, and then there's the clean slate expungement, which is what it sounds like. It wipes the slate clean. Regular expungement is for people with 1 felony. Anybody here just have 1 felony? Okay, so if you just have 1 felony, you're going to be looking for a regular expungement, which has a waiting period of 5 years. So you have to wait 5 years from when you max out, finish probation, or finish parole. That's how that works. And you cannot have your crime be on this list. This list, which is also in the handout, is the list of non-expungible crimes. And you can see what's on here, kidnapping, human trafficking, luring, sexual assault. It's gnarly things. If you have one of these and it's your only felony, we have to try to get rid of it a different way. We will talk to you about the other options available, not all of which we do, right? We might need to get you some help to do it. However, that's regular. Let me talk about clean slate. Clean slate is if you have multiple felonies, same basic rules apply, except the waiting period's 10 years. That's the rub. Now, I will tell you the same thing I tell anybody that's in Hudson County where I work. I know that some of you might look into the system and you might have to wait 3 years. You might have to wait 5 years. Now, I've been here 5 years. I was locked up during the pandemic. Who was locked up during the pandemic? Anybody? Was it as bad as it was out there? It was terrible. People were dying. It was scary, right? But I've been here about 5 years. And I tell everybody, look, if God was trying to tell me something like what my career should be, he sent me to jail for the second time after I fixed my life, sent me all the way back to California, right? And put a newspaper article in San Bernardino, not even LA County. I mean, I've been to LA County jail, but San Bernardino County Jail, which is a nothing, right? Put an article about New Jersey reentry out there. So I'd see it. So I'd come here. So I'd do this. So I say all that to say, I don't have plans to go anywhere, guys. So if you got to wait 5 years, you come back in 5 years. I tell you, I will, unless we run out of money or until they get sick of me, I'll still be here. And either I will file it if you're in Hudson County, or someone on this team that I've trained to do this will file it. But we are here for you. So if you have to wait, I know it sucks, but I'll still be here. Okay. Now, that's just the waiting period part, though. There's also the non-expungible felony part. There's a differing opinion in the courts about this. And I've received some advice. Our team has received some advice from lawyers that we like. And that is, the thinking used to be if you had a non-expungible crime that you couldn't file a clean slate expungement. I have talked with a lawyer who she has decided, and it's been working for her, that if there is a non-expungible crime in there, she's just going to pull it out of the petition so that it's not expunged, but try to get everything else and let the prosecutor prove why that shouldn't happen. So if you have a clean slate looking party court history, but there's a non-expungible in there, we might try that. Right? Now, we can't promise success. We never promise success. I mean, that's something we can't do because once it gets to the courts, it's in the court's hands. Right? It's out of our hands. But it is something that we will try. Now, one thing that I need you to be aware of before I break and send you off to start meeting with the legal services coordinators is there's weird little tricks and traps that can come up. One of them is anybody, and be honest, anybody ever use an alias and get picked up on an alias? Okay, if you've ever, anybody ever use an alias that is actually some other person's real name? So here's what happens. You use an alias, it belongs to somebody else, their record gets messed up with your record, right? Multiple SBIs show up. It's crazy. Sometimes, like I sat down with somebody who had 1 felony or 2 felonies, but the thing popped up, there were all kinds of names in there. It said multiple SBIs. I'm like, all right, I might need you to get a copy. What's up? Don't touch the podium. All right.
It's banging. You can hear it.
There we go. What? No, I know, but I don't need the mic. And if the mic's such a, I got it. I got you. Where was I? Thank you. Multiple SBIs. If you have multiple SBIs, we might need you to get a copy of your record. And there's ways to do that. Some of them cost $50, but it gets you a full FBI background check. And if you do that, that's based on your fingerprint only, right? So if somebody else's FBI got tangled up with yours, but we have a report that's on your fingerprint, because that's what the state police goes through when they're doing the final purging. They go through what's generated by your fingerprint in their records. And if they see anything that's like, oh, well, these crimes shouldn't be in there, we'll be able to get ahead of it, right? Because we can see what your fingerprint generates, pull them out of the petition, anything that's not in that report, and then move forward with a little note to the prosecutor that is reviewing it. We took these out of the petition because they're not his, not their fingerprint, and we'll submit the report, right? That's just one. There's a lot of little other things. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it because I want to get this moving and get you guys to the coordinators. But before I do that, thank you for listening to my nonsense for an hour or so. But I want to know if anybody has any questions that I can answer before we break out and start doing expungements. Yes.
I filed. Really?
Well, I mean, if they can't hear
I
you.
can speak loud.
Okay, good.
I filed for an expungement 2 years ago.
Okay.
And heard nothing.
Was it online in the portal?
No, it was through City Hall. Here.
Yeah. I mean, what court? What court?
Union County.
Union County. So here's what we could do.
I have paperwork here. So.
Well, when you sit down with one of the coordinators, they'll just open up the portal and see if something pops up in there, right? Because the portal will actually say, if it was filed properly, it'll say, oh, an expungement's already been filed for this person or whatever. But one of the coordinators could look in the portal and see what we could see. And then that paperwork will be helpful if it has case information on it, like the case number and stuff, because they need that to get it in the portal. But they can look at that.
But they also have a charge. My last charge was 2014, and they have it as 2024.
Were you on parole or something?
No. No.
They just had the date wrong?
Yeah.
Do you have the judgment of conviction?
Yeah.
And it has the real date?
Yeah.
We could work with that then. Like, it's like, so, because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, right? You've all heard that. If we can prove that the date's wrong, we're good, right? Okay, cool. All righty. Anybody else?
Can I access that portal?
Yes.
What is that website?
What, you mean the NJ Courts portal? Where are you talking about?
The portal that you were talking about.
Oh, the one that we do all our work in? Yes, you can. You have to set up an account at njcourts.com or .gov. We can give you, like, when you go meet with one of the coordinators, they can give you the URL if you want to go take a look yourself. But since you're here, like, let them at least take a look and see what's in there. But yeah, they can give you the URL. Just ask for it. Okay. Anyone else? Or in the back, and then I'll get you. Yes, but there isn't? Well, that's, I mean, so yeah.
Some states have sealing instead
Yeah.
of expungement.
Yeah, I mean, and if there was, like, we don't, that would require, like, making a motion in whatever court the record is in, and it's a whole, but we don't do that though, so. Yeah.
Can you do multiple expungements?
How do you mean?
If you have one, let's say 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
can you do another one?
Did you've been convicted of something since then?
Yeah,
So in this state,
New Jersey, yeah.
all the stuff probably came back. So that's the thing. Like, if you
Let's say it was misdemeanor. You was 18 years old.
Okay, well, then that changes things a little bit, I think, but
And you got an expungement, and then now when you're older, you get,
it depends. I mean, I can't say yes or no. So, but we need to look at it. So, anyone else? Okay, so there's a lot of people. I don't know how I want to do this exactly. You know what? So here's what I'm going to do. Well, maybe we start, well, yeah, we take one person in the back and one person in the front and we just meet in the middle or something. So, okay. All right. So, yes.
Just one question. All right. Say you got, like, at least one or two unexpunged problems in the background, like unexpunged. And would it matter if you get everything else expunged?
Well, it depends, right? Does it matter has a lot of different permutations, right? Like, one, does it matter for a job? A lot of jobs don't look back more than 7 years, right? But if you're trying to get like a job with the state, they kind of look back forever, right? So it depends. If whatever you did or whatever you were convicted of is 20 years ago, depending on the job that you're going for, they might not see it. So I personally, I'm just like, if we can get rid of it, I'd love to. But if you have non-expungable stuff, we might need to like talk to you about clemency or pardons or those sorts of things, right? But yeah, so it might matter, it might not matter. Is that helpful or okay? Anyone else?
Can I meet with you?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Sure. So we'll take numbers, but yeah. All right. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to be up here. You know what, Rob? Like, do you want to?